One swimming up, one swimming downstream. The Pisces life, the Pisces life. Two fish living in a dream. One swimming up, one swimming downstream. The Pisces life, 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 the Pisces life.
Woke up this morning and just had like a bit of a sore throat. So, the weather's been changing here.
Yes,
We've been
here too.
super hot and then super cold on some of these evenings. And, I don't ever do well when the weather is fluctuating like that. I need like a nice steady 75 through 85 all the time. And I just have a little sore throat. But I just think it was just all the stress of last week too, attacking my resistance and trying to get done with Karen. Lord,
Ooh, bless God.
yes.
We bid you adieu, Karen. We bid you adieu.
It was good while it lasted. We appreciate the love, but it was time, and I feel so good about like what that will free up for other things to work on. So.
That's a good feeling. I am thankful for this week to come to an end because, like 99% of most Americans, we trying to figure out what the next thing is, so trying to life is going to be and all that good stuff. Oh my gosh, I am trying to be Zoom presentable for you this morning.
Oh, you're looking very chic this morning.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
This is the best I could do, sis. This is my husband's.
It's fine.
This is my husband's tank top, which do we know if it's clean or dirty? We don't know.
Mm-mm.
It just was the closest thing to me when it was time to go to bed.
That works. It always does.
And so it is. So it is.
I hear that. It's time for me to put some more Imperial Purple in this hair, girl.
Come on, purple. Come on. Come on.
I love it.
Come.
I've decided I'm going to wear my hair purple for the rest of my days.
It looks good on you. I mean,
Thank
really,
you.
it is just such a brilliant, beautiful color. You look like royalty, sis. Yeah.
You are so sweet. I appreciate that. Well, girl, we better welcome the people and get right to it. They know how we do. We chit-chat beforehand, and then we officially say, welcome to the 133rd episode. Oh, my goodness. 133.
133 episodes of this wonderful show called The Pisces Life.
There you go, The Pisces Life. I am just Letitia, one of your co-hosts and March-born Pisces on the mic, and on the other microphone, looking all fresh in her hubby tea.
Yes, it will be I, the Kai Love. You know how when the sports figures, the collegiate ones, especially when those games used to start and they would be like, my name is Ryan Smith from the Ohio State University.
Oh, Lord.
So I was trying that on for my fancy, the Kai Love.
Our own fandom.
Right, and which is about at this moment a 4-by-foot area of fandom, which only includes me.
Well, I tell ya, add me to that number, sister.
Oh, thank you, sis.
We'll round it on out. Oh my goodness, sis, there has been so much going on. We just want to remind people that we are seeing a resurgence of COVID-19. We want to encourage you, please wear your masks. Please govern yourselves accordingly in public places and spaces. It is not just your world, darling. It is very selfless to wear a mask, because that says that you care about yourself and the other people who are around you, and you care about us being off restriction. Michigan, we've got extended yet again. I believe we're through the end of the month of August at this time for the stay-at-home order.
Mm-hmm.
And, it doesn't matter that sports is back. I almost said the NAACP. That's not right. Oops. The NBA is back.
Mm-hmm.
And, so far it's been really interesting to see sports being played with minimum fandom or
Mm-hmm.
minimum, thrill like it used to be. I have to be honest, I didn't even tune in on TV because I just didn't, I don't know. I feel like I'm preserving a memory of what basketball was live and in person and watching the game at home, etc.
Yeah,
And I'm just gonna wait for that moment to come
I
back. I'm
agree
gonna
with
catch the
you.
highlights and then I'm gonna just wait to actually watch a game.
I agree with you there, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the watching the games on TV, especially, is one, you got to see the inside of all of the arenas.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them have their own kind of special thing and kind of
Yes.
special setup, depending upon who the team is that you follow or is your favorite. Uh, Seeing like famous people or people with
Yes.
notoriety sitting in the stands and them being able to pull it out. And then also just like the commentary, I love hearing from like a Reggie Miller or the folks that actually articulate the game for us at home. It's an
Yes.
experience. And
It
so,
is.
and this is a new experience. I haven't been watching. The Hubs has been watching. So I have to ask him, what does he feel about this new setup?
Interesting. I would love to get in touch with Brothers Lehman. Shout out to Black Is
Yes.
and the Brothers Lehman Sportscast. I would love to get their thoughts on what it is like. I've been, they had me in a chat, girl, that, not a chat, but a thread, that's the
Mm-hmm.
correct word, on Twitter, that talked all things sports. And I just had to dip out, girl, because they was going hard. I tend to be a playoff type of player. I watch a few of the folks and the teams that I like. And I ain't even gonna lie, it's still quite superficial. If
Mm-hmm.
you cute and you can play, I watch. Because that's not always a two combo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But and I also pay attention, when the blogs get a little
Mm-hmm.
hot, to see how that's affecting that court
Mm-hmm.
action there. And I tell you, what's his name? Leonard Kiwili, Kihali. Mm, that Leonard boy. What is him name?
Um,
He plays sports. He do play the basketball. I do know that. I do know that. Kalani, Kihuli, Kilolo Leonard. Is that? Y'all know who I'm talking about out there. He been in all kinds of hot waters and carrying
yes,
on.
Leonard Cowie.
Leonard Cowie, there you go. There you go. There you go there. See, that's another thing. These young boys, they getting these names that's,
Yes,
where is
which is
Desmond Howard, we
right, a good solid name like Stan Smith, something like that. But Cowie has Leonard is his last name, so it's funny that he has such a interesting first name and then
hmm
kind of a general last name. So
that could
Cowie,
also be a first name.
that could also be a first name. Cowie Leonard has been
Yeah,
he's been doing a little
right. Too much.
doing a little bit.
Way too much. It's a lot been happening. There are several people who are doing way too much. Just went on by this tea. So a couple of things that I follow, and we have to discuss this. I have left WeTV alone after the good sister, our good Pisces sister, Tamar Braxton. We send love and light still your way, darling, as you
Mhm.
heal in your journey. we understand here at the Pisces Life. That is why we always remind you that your mental health is just as important as your emotional, physical, financial, all of that other health. Your mental health is good. But I left it WeTV alone, but they had something very disturbing that happened this past episode ago, where Tahiri, we know her from the Love and Hip Hop fame, going with Joe Budden in that whole triangle. She has a new man named Vado. And I don't know who this man is. I have not a clue. His name ain't rung a bell. His face ain't rung a bell. They ain't played a tune that I know by him, nor have I cared to Google him. But there was a...
Hold on one sexist. Is your
Yes.
TV or your radio on?
Oh, you know what? Yes. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, girl.
No,
like...
no. No. You know what? I was in the middle of... Look, that's what I was doing right before we got on. Oh, this is so shameful. I'm in my... I'm not zoomable below the waist, so I should...
Oh, no.
We sisters, but we
got the same setup, though, sis. Peep it.
Girl, listen, all cuddled up under the cover. I had the nerve to buy me a desk bed, sis.
It's coming soon.
Oh,
Tuesday,
sis.
it'll be here.
It's
it's needed. I'm a bed worker.
Yes, me too. I am taking work from home to work to the bed.
I'm a bed worker.
Let us be clear. On the we can't even say on the laptop.
Right.
Got these what is it? Fan people.
OnlyFans.
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 OnlyFans. There we go.
OnlyFans. Yeah,
Girl, I heard. Wait, sis. Might want to lean in quiet because you all married and whatnot on this one.
What?
But I heard Safari's OnlyFans page be jumping.
Oh.
Girl, they said it's worth the money. They said it's worth every dollar you put in that pocket.
How much does the Safari OnlyFans cost?
We better ask Siri's. I don't want to get caught Googling it. Oh my. I don't know what OnlyFans is exactly, but I just know that, people have the ability to make money on there. And they often do it without clothes on or scantily put clothes on. Or from what I've heard about Safari, he be in some real tight boxers, where you just...
The first time that I heard about OnlyFans was because the Jasmine brand, I was reading on, this was back in maybe April. I was reading on their site about something else. And then the head story though was Safari Samuels joins OnlyFans. And I was like, what does that mean? And me being an auntie and such, I was like, wait a minute, should I get an OnlyFans? Should it be for people who like my poetry?
Unless you're gonna be reciting naked, I don't. Now you talented, don't misunderstand me. But I think they might want, the left boob out or something when you recitating. I don't want you to do that. You're too talented for that.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Keep me on the straight path. Because then I said, oh, it says X-rated content. Oh no. No. That's not where this auntie stands. No. Or sits.
Nope. Do you know how much money Xfinity makes off of the adult channel? It is $1 billion with a B.
Back up, sis.
Yes.
Xfinity has an adult channel?
Girl, it's on demand. Now listen, I'm not out here telling folks what to be clicking, but it is on demand. And there's a section on there called adult. And that is exactly what it is. And, that's where you can see all the Kardashian sex tapes, Ray J. You can see Mimi and what was that man's name?
Oh yeah, the when she was on
Ico, Ikea,
right.
Ikeo,
I don't Nico.
Nico.
Yes,
That
he
was
was.
it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it after dark, it be jumping. You know what? Let me Google that right.
Oh Lord.
Whoops, and see how much money they be making. Because this Xfinity porn. No,
Who
I'm just playing. I'm a,
who knew? Who knew?
yeah, they be making big dough.
Wow.
So I'm typing in Xfinity adult channel revenue from now. This was back in 2004. Comcast is checking in on such titles as Boob Mania, Barely Legal 39,
Oh.
or Tabletop Sex. Just
Oh.
didn't know. Adult entertaining, Comcast multi-million dollar bill. This is what brought it to the forefront. They were getting ready to buy Disney and become a co-opted space. And
Oh.
Disney was like, nah, we're not going to do that. No. But
Oh.
rentals and sales, now this was back years ago. Rentals and sales of adult videos and DVDs easily top 4 billion per year.
Sis, I am like I am aghast. I didn't even know. So.
And check this out, Comcast alone of that. So that's the total industry of what people
Mhm.
are renting and looking at down at home. You
Mhm.
can download them, you can rent them, etc. Comcast is getting $18.5 billion of that industry in 2003. Now it's 2020. Folks been at home and folks have been cooped up. I bet they probably got that last month.
Oh, easy,
18.5 billion
easy,
last month.
easy.
And for your anonymity, they do let you know that, it does not show up on your bill that you've been watching videos as such. So depending on who opens up the bill on your, or runs the bill on your account, opens it up online, or if you're still receiving paper bills, um, it only says pay-per-view channel. It does not say. It's also called Too Much for TV. You can get some free things, and that tends to have some international programming there, because other European particularly, or Latin American countries as well,
Mhm.
sis, are not as pent up about nudity as we are
Absolutely,
in the
absolutely.
United States of America. So
Wow.
anyhow, that's another industry that has been absolutely recession and COVID-19 and honestly protest proof too. People are really making money out here giving away dewy flower coupons and poses.
And such and such. Whoa, it's well,
Yeah.
the phrase is coined appropriately. So sex sells.
Yes, it
It
does.
just does, which is just such an interesting dynamic
Mm-hmm.
that um, it does bring that type of investment. It's like of all the things one could be, capitalizing
Mm-hmm.
off of, it is something that continues to, be recession proof in a way. We're even, in the pandemic right now, and I heard about some state that has the drive-through
Mm.
um, strip club
Oh.
situation where the dancers are behind of a case of sorts,
Ooh,
and
we have been creative.
people can drive through and s- see them, work their magic, sis, um,
Through the window.
through the window. And speaking of such, that's been the tone on all of the interwebs. Two things. There's a new show out called P Valley.
Yes.
I haven't seen it,
Me either.
but it is really being mentioned a lot in these social media streets. And then the other thing that's been burning up the charts of conversation, that is, and maybe even the music charts, although I don't know if we can consider it to be like one of the best songs that was ever made. The is it WAP? 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 WAP?
Oh, or WAP? Do you call it WAP or WAP? I don't know. I didn't
I,
listen to the song. I'm not in the stallion movement. Oh, sorry, sis. Just
it,
I'm an auntie in music. It's hard. It's
I,
hard on me.
it's so you know, you and I are auntie age, and certainly are from the Little Kim, the Foxy Brown. You know, we've
Yes.
been around
Eve.
the Eve, even, who have been really expressive about their bodies and their sexual proclivities and such.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I don't know if it's so much as that, like, who they are, like the Cardi B's, the
Mm-hmm.
Meg the Stallions. If that offends me, it doesn't at all. Their music is just not good, and I just want it to be good. Like, if you were out there with all your colored wigs and saying all the things that you're gonna say, and it was good, then I guess it would mean more to me. It would be like, okay, yeah, I can get behind that, that's good music. But the music is just not good. That WAP or WAP, whatever you want to refer to it as,
Mm-hmm.
uses a classic house track.
Girl, no.
Yes, 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 yes.
Mm.
So if you grew up in the 90s and you were in college in the 90s, you've been to a college party where you've heard, "There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house."
Beat that beat with a bat.
Yeah,
Beat that
right.
beat with a bat.
So
Beat that beat with a bat.
it uses that track as
Oh, wow.
its music. I just wanted it just didn't live up to, like, the greatness that I thought it would be. Like, and this Beehive, please don't come sting me.
Uh-uh.
I felt the same about B's remake of Frankie Beverly and Maze. I felt like it was
Wait a minute. I might sting you.
I felt like it was okay. It was okay. It was okay. It was just okay to me.
Okay.
Audience, she's turned her head to me. I didn't
Eyes
mean
closed.
I didn't
No.
mean no harm, sis. I ain't mean no harm. Just speaking my truth to power this morning.
Amen. Amen. Speak it on. Speak it on, sister.
But I feel you, sis. I'm not a fan of Meg the Stallion's music.
Mm-mm.
Um, and again, it's not just because it's crass. Because crass over a beat, I've been known to do a toe tap or two. I just want it. I just want it to be good, and it just doesn't. It doesn't. It just doesn't feel like.
Yes.
It feels like it's too simple. It lacks. In maybe I am too complex. I don't know, sis. I don't know.
I don't know either, sis. I listened to it, and even the Savage, remix and stuff, and all the whole movement. I'll be glad. Unpopular opinion incoming, but I'll be glad when the twerk and work stage is over, because it's just too much. It's too much for me. What is interesting though is that this is all that's going to be played. I said a long time ago, I grew up, you and I both grew up in an era where it took a parental advisory and an actual parent to buy said labeled CD, cassette tape,
Mm-hmm.
because I was in the era ushered one
Mm-hmm.
out and ushered the
Mm-hmm.
other one in. We both
Mm-hmm.
were. And it just, oh my gosh, really? I mean, it took an actual adult to buy an album that had a parental advisory. Now, everything has a parental advisory. And here's the thing that gets me. You play the clean versions on the radio. You know we like it. It's a banger. I can't tell you how many times I have just been absolutely shocked, dismayed, and distressed when I have went searching on the internet, oh, I like that song, boom, 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 dee 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 dee, and I go to iTunes and it's like, oh wait, he was saying what? Oh, I don't want nobody to do that to me. That don't sound pleasurable at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Music, I just I've had to let it go. I am locked in a particular era. Give me neo soul, give me
Mm-hmm.
90s, give me a good house party beat. I love Disco Fellowship with your Shy Town brother,
Mm-hmm.
just from the Shy Mr. Deon Cole, funny
Mm-hmm.
man, and he is fine. I have discovered that, sis, with his DJ sessions. Like a couple of times I sent like the heart emoji and it
Just
wasn't
because
about the song.
it was just because of him. It's just because of him.
He's a good looking dude. I never really realized that before. I don't know where
Yeah.
I've been. He's a good looking man. So, music has definitely changed. I don't, you know,
But
can I tell
so
you? Uh-huh.
so just back up, hold that thought.
Yeah. Okay.
What has happened with Deon Cole is that Deon Cole went from looking like that comedian space.
Mm.
He's now, to me, there's a there's a uh, and then this is not a word, and y'all know me from what I will make up a word. Um, he's redefined himself. That is a word. I was gonna say a new word. I was gonna say refinition. That's not a word, but y'all know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? But he's refined himself and he's redefined himself, and I think that is what's coming out. He's older. He's a bit more mature, and he seems fun. Doesn't he just seem like he just
Yes.
that if you hang with him, not just like over the top, ha ha ha, funny, but that you just would have a really good time. That he's gonna want to like play music, and just like play games and things like that. He just feels very, um, he feels very now. If that makes it sense to you.
He feels very now. It does make sense. And I'll take that illustration further. So let's say we are in Chicago and you're having a barbecue in the cul-de-sac or the
Yes.
backyard or around
Yes.
the park or wherever we are
Yes.
congregating.
Yes.
And say you invite him
Yes. Yes.
and I see him, my expectation immediately would be that you would make sure that no other guest, single woman, goes and be by him but me.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
would be my first
Mhm. Mhm.
inclination.
Mhm.
Second is he looked like he would make your plate and make it good. And
Mhm.
then eat off your plate and be like, baby, you like this potato salad right here?
Mhm. He
Or let
does.
you get a fork full of,
He
his baked beans off of
he
his plate.
he do look like he can share a plate. Yes,
Don't he?
he do. He look
Don't
like
he? He look
he
like he
he look like he might let you wear his t-shirts or something.
right. And when you walk by him with your, looking like you look with his t-shirt on, he pop you on the booty. That's what you know. I just imagine he would be a very nice first date. I think that he would, do all the parlez-vous frashitu for
Mhm.
you, like he'd take you somewhere that would be that spot,
Mhm. Mhm.
out the way, but he ain't ordered nothing that's printed up on the menu because it's his spot, because he like that with
Yes.
the chef and whatnot, because the place got a
Yes.
chef. It ain't got no cook, got
It
a
has a
chef.
chef. He also looked like he smells good.
Oh, excellent. Girl, it looked like he smelled good right at the corner of his neck between the earlobe, lower earlobe,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
that nape right back in that
Right up in
up
cheer.
in there.
Up in
It looked
cheer.
it looked like he can also French kiss good.
Mhm.
But I didn't, now
Mhm.
that might be too much. I just
I mean, two or three episodes ago, we did discuss that Letitia likes to French kiss. So,
I do. I likes to kiss the French way. I do. And I'm telling you, this dang on COVID, if that has messed that up for me, sis, what else can a good girl do? I mean, Heavy petting and a good French kiss the good way would just, I'm good. Was it good for you? I'm fine. Flower has been refreshed. I'm good. I just, I don't know what sex in the single life is going to look like. I'm scared to kiss somebody the French way.
It's so stressful. I hear it a lot.
Well, at least you're married now. I mean,
Yes,
you know where your French way canal has been there. So
yes. But Lord, let my French way canal stay local. But I hear from a lot of my sis that are out here, trying to figure it out.
oh Lord.
And they're saying, like, it's like, what do you do again? Like, what
Oh,
is going to be the new normal? It used to be show me your STI status. Now it's going to
right.
be like, I also need to know if you are COVID free, or have you
Yes.
had COVID? Because that,
That's disclosure. I mean,
is COVID like, the equivalent of herpes, in the sense that if you've had
oops.
it, now you know you've had it, and so people can say, oh yeah, well, I've had it, so I'm good, or
Wow.
like, because once you have it, do you have it for life? The antigens don't stay in you, but technically the mark still is on you, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
it's a strange space. It's a strange space. And so, is that a new Bumble question on the
Listen,
on the questionnaire?
listen, that could be. Listen, speaking of Bumble, it's funny that you would bring them up. I had an opportunity to reach out to Bumble. Now, listen, we hear that you all are listening to us in our own circles, and we get your messages and all of that stuff. Keep that up. We love hearing from you.
Absolutely.
But we've heard from several of you that you use Bumble
Mhm.
as, a way to meet people even during the quarantine. We know, for example, celebrity Tiffany Haddish and Common, who are now officially a confirmed couple.
Mhm.
They have met on Bumble and did a Bumble date that they
Mhm.
filmed and let us all be a part of and all of that good stuff. So I had a question for Bumble. I had thought about it. I know some people who are doing okay with it.
Mhm.
They're out on dates.
Mhm.
Um, And so I was thinking about it personally. Like I told you, I'm ready to start dating again, whatever that means, girl. I don't even know. It's so confusing. I don't know. Because, like,
Mhm.
I mean, are you offended if I douse you with Lysol? Because I'm going to spray you down.
Just a little pew, pew, just
Just a little.
just you gotta get him twice, sis, just in case,
Get them twice.
get him
So
twice.
I had a question about this, and this is honestly what has stopped me from using Bumble. They have a verification process where they take a photo of you, they send it in real time to photo moderators. This is what it says on the website, and they verify you just to make sure that you're a human being. So you know how I am about my public image. I likes to be glammed up. I mean, who doesn't? Even a selfie. I don't like those awkward selfies. I like to look a certain way when I'm taking photos.
Mhm.
So, Pisces Life listeners,
Yeah.
I got to the bottom of this directly from Bumble. Here we go. Your verification photo will be used by our photo moderators to determine that you are, in fact, you.
Mhm.
Catfish fakes and profiles are not welcome on Bumble. So this helps us verify that other users are the real deal. While it's not currently required, boom. So it's not required. There you go. So if you've been scared like me to think, oh my God, Bumble wants to use this and I can't do it, it's not required. However, they highly recommend that other users, or excuse me, their users verify their profile. Verified profiles tend to have better success with forming matches. Okay.
Mm.
It's real simple to do it. You take your picture, they send you a picture to mimic. You do the pose, you send it back in real time. Their photo moderators approve you, you move on.
Mhm.
Now, here's the part that sold me, sis. So don't say nothing, Pisces Live listeners, unless you're a single man looking good like you looking.
Mm.
Don't say nothing. But that particular verification photo will not be displayed anywhere on your profile, and other users will not see this photo.
Mhm.
So that made me feel good,
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
made me feel really good. So there you are. Bumble responded to us. Those were some of your questions. Let us know how it's going out there for you if you are on Bumble.
Right. We would love to.
I'm thinking about it.
Sis, I think you should do it.
You think so?
I
I'm
think you.
scared though.
I know. I know. I think you
I'm
should do it,
so
sis.
scared.
I think you should do it because you have so much to offer to
Oh,
a gentleman, and you deserve to be loved and loved well.
oh,
And and love, I think, just improves your peace of mind. And so I want you to have that. I want you. So
thank you.
I think you should do it. We're gonna send some good juju up, and Bumble certainly. We think that you are definitely the preferred platform for this type of moment because of the safety precautions that
Mm-hmm.
you've put in place. So we see you, Bumble. Our listeners see you too. And we want to know if anyone has had really good success, like any engagements happening, any marriages that
Ooh.
have happened. Let us know. We would love to talk to you.
Oh, wow. This is really, 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 really exciting. Or interesting at least to be dating in the age of the quarantine. I've heard from a couple of people that have met on Bumble. When it came to meeting in person, it was like, oh, let's pick one of our city's lovely treasures, like the park,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't bad. I like a good park date, provided I know we're going ahead of time so I can take Benadryl and, get my nose spray together and all of that. So I can get a good 2 hours in the park without sneezing all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm excited about the prospect of dating again. I'm missing men. I miss them. Oh, I just miss them. I'm having a house date later today, so I'm excited about that.
Yay.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, a really good friend, and he's somebody that I can depend on. And, I love being friends with a guy. I miss having guy friends. A lot of my guy friends were in relationships with people. Bless their hearts.
God bless their hearts.
God bless their hearts. I tell you, it is hard to be the homegirl sometime and see your boy just getting dogged out, or like, that's a good man right there. Too bad you don't know it, boo. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you how you getting ready to mess this up right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, girl, incoming news. A
What?
5.1 magnitude earthquake in North Carolina along the state's border with Virginia. Lord have
Really?
mercy.
Ooh. We
Just
hope
add this
everybody's
to the
safe.
list. Yes. I did see a tweet from our former guest, Stephanie Cottle, who doesn't live too far from those areas or has families within that area, that she was all fine. She was like, apparently I didn't even feel it. So that's
Mm,
interesting. Mm,
it's just
let's
too.
see.
We don't need nothing else to happen. We just got to try to get over what we are dealing with currently. This has just
Right?
been longer than I think anybody anticipated. And it's certainly starting to wear people down.
It is. People are tired of being cooped up in the house. Me too. People are upset that stuff really ain't open and flowing, or it was open, now it's shut back down. Me too. We have
Mm-hmm.
to really watch carefully the current news out there, as schools have gone back in the South, particularly Gwinnett public schools, outside or in within Atlanta, Georgia confounds. 260 students have tested positive for COVID-19. They are also disciplining students who take pictures of the crowded hallways, students without masks, etc. Now, I know people on the surface were very upset about that, rightfully so, and initially. And it's not that they're being punished for taking the photos per se. That's part of it. But the first principle is a title. I believe it's 9. It's one of the titles in education
Mhm.
that actually still exists. Don't tell Betsy DeVos because I'm sure she'll demolish it.
Mhm.
But it is actually a title that deals with not photographing other students for identity and amenity and privacy and all of that.
Yep.
So that's what the first principle really is. And then secondarily, there are folks who want to prove that, opening up schools is a great thing. Nothing's going to
Um,
happen.
the
So
the
I'm just thankful I ain't got kids right now.
all I and let me say, as a person who is trying to manage this
Mm,
re-enrollment and all the things that entails, why any school district would not at this point
mm,
be offering the opportunity for the kids to be virtual. Like,
yes.
even if you are with your special self is just going to open back up, because I understand that a lot of the small private schools and Christian schools, Catholic
Mm-hmm.
schools, they exist based on tuition and revenue, and for some, it, having the kids return to the classroom is so necessary, especially if
It
the kids
is.
have special needs and things like
Oh,
that.
yes.
Like,
Mhm.
they just need some help because parents are not equipped to meet the educational needs based off of learning style and all of that, and I get that. But any school that is not offering a remote um, choice and or
Mhm.
option for parents, I deem as just being very irresponsible. Here in Chicago, city of Chicago, they just have announced that the entire, I believe, first quarter of
Mhm.
school for them will be fully remote, and they put in these provisions in place to help the parents and the students. So they've partnered with Comcast, Internet
Mm.
Essentials, and they're offering free internet service for homes that don't have it so that the children will be able to access the internet. The schools are handing out devices and working with
Mm.
libraries for Wi-Fi spots and things of that nature to ensure that the kids can be safe and not a public health hazard, because I don't know anyone who doesn't think that if you put the kids back in school the way that we know schools work, that
Mhm.
there was not going to be a high transmission of COVID-19. I just don't know why anybody thought that that would be a good idea. And this is
Mm-mm.
even in those areas where the population is primarily Caucasian, who
Mhm.
believes that they cannot get coronavirus. Yes, you too are at risk because you just don't know where and what people do outside of the school environment. And if someone's carrying coronavirus
Mhm.
asymptomatically or otherwise, just think about what happens when one kid gets a cold at the school, or
Girl,
one kid gets the flu,
the lice or the
one kid
lice.
gets the lice, one child gets the measles, the chicken pox. Like, people act like that this is like not normal, that it can spread. I remember a school in Orland Park specifically where the flu was going around rampant. Like, this was two
Mhm.
years ago. It wiped out like a quarter of the school for like 2 or 3 weeks. The teachers, the administration, the students were sick. And Orland Park here in Illinois is the same place where their mayor had sued the governor for the stay-at-home order, saying that they are going to open back up. They are not requiring their residents or their businesses to
Do
mandate
mask,
masks.
right?
So I anticipate that we're about to realize some massive illnesses in that area
Mhm.
because of people not protecting themselves. Just because you are not requiring your people to wear masks and whatever, there are people who are still going in and out and through your town.
Mm-hmm.
And Orland Park has a mall. It has a significant restaurant district,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the major retailers and everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it just
We're not ready.
I would rather err on inconvenience and caution than have to deal with the fallout of a mass public health crises in my community.
Amen. Beyond what we have now.
Beyond what we have now.
Beyond what we have now.
It's like, okay, a little bit of inconvenience for the greater good. Seems like, and you're not going to be able to get everybody. Everybody's not going to adhere. There are people in even the highest risk areas
Yes.
that are not wearing masks and saying things like, well, if I'm going to get it, I'm just going to get it. But I'm going to beat it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, must we send you all of the news clippings from people who thought that same way, and some of them ain't made it back? They is laying somewhere under the ground 6 of the feet. So,
yes,
mm-mm.
that is so true. That is so true. We really, really encourage you to take this thing seriously. There are problems out here with this coronavirus that are not going away. You need to be diligent. Be diligent. Mm-hmm.
Agreed, sis. Agreed. I'm wearing my
Girl.
mask everywhere I go.
Everywhere, even to the mailbox, because people likes to gather around the mailbox and chat. I think it's because we haven't seen other human beings other than the people that we live with or know. So the fresh face is an opportunity to have a fresh conversation. So I'm not interested without you being unmasked. So I have resorted to I have a little face mask that I wear. It's a cloth one right by the door that I wear specifically to go out to get the mail, come back in, spray it with a little Lysol, hang it up. I'm doing what I can. I'm doing my part.
I do my part as well. There was an elderly neighbor who, we haven't lived in this neighborhood. This is just now a year, but we're very busy people. My husband commutes every day pretty far, so it's before dark normally when he would leave the house, and after dark by the time he gets back. And I'm in and out the country, and so a lot of our neighbors haven't seen us, and now that we're home, we are, of course, out in the garden and playing ball and all those other things. And they're like, oh, we'll go say hello. No, you can just wave. Like, you use your outside voice. I'm Mr. Robinson. Yes. Hey, Mr. Robinson. 3 houses down. Like, you don't have to come down here to the code. You got to come down here to the cul-de-sac. And personally introduce yourself, because I don't know what you got going on. You'll know what I got going on. And it's such a different, it's just a different time. This is what I wanted to tell you too, sis, about it being a different time. So on Friday, I ended a client relationship, and I had to go and collect some items from their office space. Now, no one's been in that office space since March. And I parked on the street, which normally never happens in downtown Chicago, finding a street park.
Right.
They're all metered, but normally even the meters are all just, taken up. So I, pulled into a street park, and it was super eerie to be outside walking to this office. And when I tell you, it was like the zombie apocalypse. And this is something this is something I've never even thought about until I went out on Friday.
What?
All the homeless people who live in these downtown areas that really do rely on patrons at restaurants, garbage that is thrown out from patrons at restaurants, cigarette butts, all the things, corners.
Not cigarette butts.
Yes, bumming squares and picking up the butts. I have spent a lot of time doing homeless work, so I know like how they get down and how they kind of fill their own gaps of need. But I never thought about how our economy provides some necessity for those not just in poverty but like the homeless people. So
Yeah.
it was a zombie apocalypse. People, the homeless was everywhere. There was
Mm.
no residents, no business owners. It was zero people down there doing business. Most of the businesses are closed, have signs up that we won't be back in the office, or our restaurant won't be back open until September this or whatever.
Right. Mm.
And I was wondering, how are they surviving? They looked just like when and I'm the zombie apocalypse is the best way that I could describe it. They just
Wow.
all looked glazed over and just and I mean out in the public, like in the middle of the day, sleeping on the street, just things that you would have never seen in March.
Right.
And they just have kind of taken over the geography. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Mm.
I just have been so focused on trying to maintain my own self and keep my own family safe, and us keep Pisces life moving and grooving and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't even thinking about what that looks like and what that feels like. And what does that look like in major cities where there's really large populations. So it's like downtown Chicago is starting in a way to look and feel like how California looks on
Mm-hmm.
that Skid Row area, which
Not Skid Row.
because when you hear about like Skid Row, you have a visualization that is just like, okay, this is just where the homeless people congregate. I think that in most major cities or towns, where the homeless people is. They're under this underpass. They're over in this area. But
Mm-hmm.
but when I tell you that section of LA that has all of the tents, like it's a city, sis. I've not
Wow.
ever seen anything like that in my life. It is a city within a city of homeless people. And downtown Chicago right now is starting to feel like that in areas.
Wow.
There are people, I mean, sis, in the emergency lane where you could pull over and drop some
Mm-hmm.
things off, they had a whole like little social section. They were sitting on crates and they was all just
No.
like having them, they little conversations. I was like, what? It was, I felt like I was not in the right world. I'm like, wait, what is happening
Girl.
here? What is happening here?
Everything has changed. Everything has changed. You have mentioned that feeling like a zombie apocalypse in some places. I've been reading articles, particularly in New York and other populous places, huge metropolis that deals with tourism or gets a lot of foot traffic, etc. The animals, I mean, these rats are getting aggressive in New York. They are straight eating off baby toes up there.
Oh, oh my goodness. I didn't even think,
I mean, girl,
wow, I haven't even
it's
thought
bad.
about that too.
It's bad. They are really in other parts of the country, in India, and see, you've been there.
Hmm, hmm.
In India, they have all of this goes and owns, um, where they have the little monkey things that be jumping and hopping and carrying on. You see
Oh,
them little monkeys?
oh yeah, they have the monkeys everywhere in India. Cows roaming the streets, dogs just roaming the streets. It was a strange space to be like in what they were considered their business district, and here comes a goat.
Not a goat.
Just like, oh, 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 okay. and these very aggressive snatching monkeys, very aggressive monkeys.
Well, they are cutting up even more because they're hungry. They are
Mm.
cutting up even more because they are now very hungry. They're confused about where the food is. They actually have had to resort to animal control or the like, providing like they drop off bread. And it's too dangerous for them to physically drop it off. They got to drop it off out the sky in a little crate, and then
Mm.
the crate bust open and baby, you should see the monkeys getting that bread.
Oh my goodness.
I
Like,
mean, fight each other. Oh, this one monkey, he showed out. He was like the lead monkey and was looking out for his homies, because he was like, he was karate throat chopping the other monkeys and
what?
and handing out the bread with his other hand to his homies, like, let my we
I mean,
all fall through. Let us all get. I mean, it was just really weird.
wow. And it's so interesting, sis, that you are mentioning all, like, I've just, today I'm going to go down so many different pathways of interweb search. I gotta see what was happening with Xfinity and their adult channel. Not that I'm gonna be going to watch, and even if I was, don't judge me. I'm just saying I want to see what it is. Do I need to block it to make sure that the 11-year-old can't get to it? Like, I got some parental things to do over here on my
Right.
end.
Oh, you
But
do.
the other part is I've and I try to be really thoughtful about others. But in this kind of time, I really haven't even thought about like the impact outside of my immediate circle. I just
Mm-hmm.
really have been focused on safety. So I'm just wondering, safety and probably the next step being economic security, workforce development types of things, but not
Yes.
like homeless, not like the ecosystem of
Mm-hmm.
animals that are reliant on uh, the systems that we live and work in. Like, I just haven't even thought about any of that, so now I'm super
Yeah.
interested to learn more so that I can figure out if I can be helpful in that space too.
Well, I tell you, be careful what you feed, cause they hungry. And if you don't intend on feeding and keeping it up and keeping it in your regular bill, you don't want that.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't want that. I had a pack of squirrels out here, you know.
just doing things.
Listen, once the acorns that fell up out the tree, one was up on the back of my screen porch and was up on the screen, like looking in the kitchen, like, I know you cooking something. I know.
I smell it.
I smell it. You not gonna throw me out nothing. You know all them nuts done fell. I don't know where the people are. We used to, the kids. I had a kid in my neighborhood. I used to call him the snack king.
Yes, I remember Snack King.
Girl, the snack king done grew up. He driving now. And I'll be doggone if that boy didn't throw a wrapper out the doggone window of the car. I said, now I'm gonna take your license plate and tell your daddy. He throwing the snacks out the window now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Well, sis, we've talked about a lot.
We solved it all.
We did. And gave some folks some homework,
And some homework, okay?
and maybe potentially moving my sis towards a valuable and engaging and fulfilling love life.
Hey.
Well,
That
that.
makes me giggle.
Hey, Deon Cole.
Hey. I'm just a kid from near Detroit. No.
That, that's gonna be your Bumble handle, sis. There
Right.
you
Just a
go.
kid from near Detroit.
There
That's
you go.
cute.
I like it. It suits you. I like it. Well, that's another episode of the Pisces Life. We thank you for listening and giggling with us and engaging with us. And we appreciate all the feedback and suggestions and interaction. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can send those right on over to the Pisces Life at gmail.com. We are on these interwebs. We be talking about things. We be sharing things.
Yeah.
Connect with us.
Mhm.
On Twitter, we are Pisces Podcast, one word. And on Instagram and Facebook, we are the Pisces Life. Sis, if they are looking for you with imperial purple hair,
Hey.
out here and available, safely social distancing in your dating life, where can they find you?
They can find me at I am just Letitia, Letitia, because I want you to reach me now. Spell it right, because I don't want you all up in Letitia's with a
Don't,
CIA or
mm,
Letitia's. Mm-mm.
don't do it.
That's
Don't
how
do
you
it.
spell it. And since if they are looking for you, where can they find you at?
They'll find me with my glasses on because I'm an auntie and I need it, and I need some specs, researching things and learning and helping to expand my brain and make the world a better place while I'm doing it. They can find me on the Twitter at Kai Loves You, KAILOVESU. On Instagram, just add a 2 to that, Kai Loves You 2 on Instagram. We are out of here, y'all. Y'all be safe. Peace.
Peace.
Two fish living in a dream.